What's the soup, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As I'm sure you have too, my feed has been absolutely flooded with the Italian AI characters over the last month. That and the Minecraft chicken jockey sessions of mayhem. And while I did find them hilarious at the beginning, I've slowly grown to resent them like everything else that becomes too popular too quickly in the internet these days. It gets its moment in the sun and then within days overstays its welcome. I'm sure by now everyone and their grandmother knows about the chicken jockey incident happening in theaters all over the world, so I won't get into it further than this. And if you don't know who these Italian AI brain rot characters are, I'll just mention the two MVPs, or the two most popular ones, and that's Trallallero Trallala and Bombardino Crocodilo. And you can argue amongst yourself in the comments if you don't think that these are the two main characters, but in my professional opinion, which is correct, these are the two main characters out of the bunch. I'll stick to the two that I brought forward. And I really just want to mention these characters very briefly to not date this video. Just mention them if you've been out of the loop or living under a rock. But these characters did get me thinking about just how far we've come and evolved in the internet since I first started frying my brain in 9gag back in 2012. And by now I'm sure we're all well aware about the original 9gag meme format that were first introduced to us all that time ago and how it's slowly been devolving into the pure brain sludge that we scroll through today. But one thing that I don't think gets talked about enough these days is all these viral internet challenges that dominated the internet in the 2010s and early 2020s. And I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's your ice bucket challenge. It's your cinnamon challenge. It's your Tide Pod challenge. It's your Kylie Jenner lip challenge. It's your Harlem Shake. It's your Gangnam Style. And my personal favorite, planking. And I know in this video I'll probably miss a lot of challenges that were probably very near and dear to you, but probably went over my radar. Honestly, there have been so many and they've come and gone so forgettably that I don't think any of us can recall all of them in the list off of the top of our heads. If I did miss one, it's alright. It's not the end of the world. I'm just a dude talking to my camera on YouTube. For example, one that I had completely forgotten about but was recently reminded of listening to Jack Black in Conan's podcast Conan Needs a Friend was the WAP challenge back in the early days of the pandemic, where that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song would come on and then people would do this hilarious dance and upload it to the early version of the TikTok that we have today. Obviously it was very developed even then, but you know what I'm talking about. I had completely forgotten about this challenge, and if it wasn't for me checking out that podcast, I probably wouldn't have remembered it for this video. So I thought in the spirit of celebrating all of these challenges, I'd make a tier list based on memorability, cultural impact, and overall absurdity. I've never really done a tier list, but I've wanted to do one ever since I first started watching Tier Zoo's videos all those years back. I've always wanted to take my swing at making my own tier list, and what better way to start than with these viral internet challenges that have probably been ranked a million times, but here's mine. Before we get into it, I just want to go over exactly what challenges I'm going to be mentioning and which ones we're going to be ranking in this video. So this is what we're going to be working with today: planking, Harlem Shake, ice bucket challenge, Tide Pod challenge, mannequin challenge, WAP dance challenge, Kylie Jenner lip challenge, bottle cap challenge, cinnamon challenge, and Gangnam Style. I know not all of these are quote unquote challenges, but they probably have the same spirit. And I think it's only fair we start at the bottom. Let's start with Gangnam Style. To be honest, I was even a little reluctant or hesitant to include this into the list because it wasn't technically a challenge. I think this was really just the infancy of the online culture that we have today that's super popular and super normal in TikTok, where a song will go viral and then we as a community will try to imitate that dance. Most recently with Charlie XCX's Brat summer hit Apple. I feel like I saw that dance in every corner of the internet. Okay, so yeah, let's start with Gangnam Style. To be honest, like I said, I don't know how I feel about this because it just seemed like a lot of marketing from the record label, but I did have fun. I think it reminds me of a good part of my childhood and relationship to the internet. So we're going to start off strong with Psy being start at C. Yeah, I feel confident at C. Shouldn't be up too high. Next up, we have the cinnamon challenge. For a lot of you, I imagine this is way before your time even. This is the early stages of the internet working as a community and the beginning of us as a culture starting to digress. I don't even remember if it was genuinely bad for me, but thinking about the cinnamon challenge For those of you who don't know, what you had to do is fill a big spoon. Usually it had to be a kitchen spoon or a soup spoon. If you had something bigger, then all the more power to you. You had to fill it up with cinnamon, and then you had to put it in your mouth, try to swallow it without using water or any other liquid besides your saliva. I don't know if anyone who tried it remembers it, but that would be an impossible task. And also with the spiciness or the texture of the cinnamon, it was so painful. And then before you could even try to moisten it enough to swallow it, you would start coughing. And there's this viral video of this woman, I forget her name, but she was the face of the challenge. And I remember trying to do it with my friends. Everyone, if not most of them, starting to puke just because of how absolutely impossible it was. But it did manage to get everyone that I know excited about something happening on the internet or something that we could all participate in. If I'm putting the cinnamon challenge anywhere, I should put it, I'm gonna put it up in A tier. One of the OGs, really good one. I like it. Next up is the bottle cap challenge. This is another one that grew out of the pandemic when we were just all bored out of our gourds and we really couldn't go out and interact with people. So this is when a lot of these challenges started coming up, or just ways for us to not feel like we're completely alone through this. So this one came up and it was basically someone would be grabbing a water bottle. The other person or you would do like a back kick, like a karate back kick. You were supposed to just hit the bottle enough or the bottle cap enough for it to start rotating and fly off of the cap. Here's a video. This was just beginning of the pandemic. There's some funny ones Jason Statham did, and just being like, all right, yeah, you took all the fun away from this, because not everyone is a trained martial artist. But there were some good ones. There was a lot of people who would fall over, a lot of people accidentally kicking their friends. And for that reason, I think this is gonna go, I think I'm gonna put this down in C as well. Next up is the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. This is another early one. It's from the late 2010s, mid 2010s. So this is basically when Kylie Jenner was becoming the phenomenon we all know her to be today. She was coming into the public eye in a very aggressive way. A lot of the people who were into the Kardashians and the Kardashian show knew her from the show, and let's just say her face changed a lot in very little time, and her new done lips had garnered a lot of attention, but she kept rejecting the fact that she got any work done. So obviously that made a lot of people skeptical, and that led to a fair amount of the population trying to replicate those lips without using medical enhancements. And people would put their lips up against the bottle and then like pull all the air out and suction themselves in, and that would lead for them to get enlarged or engorged lips. Obviously, a lot of the people who admired Kylie Jenner at this time were relatively young, or at least younger, so this led to a lot of problems. A lot of people having their lips stuck in the bottle, or somebody having to cut open the bottle to get them out, and a lot of minor injuries. So it was considered to be problematic too. Obviously, I never got into it. I don't think she was too much on my radar. I do remember having some of my friends try it out and seeing some videos online. This is, I think, back in the Vine days, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna put this one in D tier, to be honest. I think it was not great. A lot of people hurt themselves. A lot of people probably had distorted ideas of what they should or shouldn't look like. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that that one's going in D. Next up is the WAP challenge, which I kind of already talked about earlier. You basically danced to the song WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. It was viral. It was, again, something to do in the pandemic. People were going crazy for it. I never did it myself. Should have. Didn't. Honestly, all in good fun. Nothing bad. The Jack Black one was pretty funny. I think I'd normally put it in C tier, but just because of Jack Black, I'll put it in B. Next up is the Mannequin Challenge, another OG 2010 challenge that I think a lot of us have forgotten. It was accompanied by Ray Shwemed's song. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ray Shremed. I've never been able to pronounce that name. They had a hit song called Black Beetle. It sparked this really fun thing where basically somebody had a camera and they would film everyone in a room pretending to be stuck in time or frozen in time, and that gave way to some really creative and funny videos such as these. I remember doing a version of that at some point. I think I remember doing one or two of these videos in certain different parties or at certain different gatherings. Each time was super fun, so this one I'm gonna put up in, I think this one should be A tier. I like it. I like A tier. A tier feels right for it. It was fun. I think a lot of us participated in it, and I don't know, I liked it. Next up is the Tide Pod Challenge, another problematic one, and another one that I'm very proud to say I never participated in. This was basically one of those challenges where kind of grabbed the younger generations in just what started as an ironic, funny thing, but more and more people started jumping on board, eventually it becoming this challenge trend that we remember today. And basically the Tide Pods that Tide puts out for you to do your laundry and your detergent became a fun little snack for the children of the world. I just remember watching some really gnarly videos from that. The CDC had to put out a statement. I remember that Tide itself, whoever owns Tide, the parent company of Tide, also had to put out commercials basically saying how it wasn't a snack. It was problematic and it brought on a lot of things. Honestly, this was the closest we've come in modern day society to survival of the fittest, because a lot of people were gonna off themselves accidentally by doing this. So this one obviously down to D. The comedic element would bring it up to C, but I think it's better off forgotten. Next up is the Ice Bucket Challenge. So this was basically a charity challenge to generate awareness for ALS. So there was a nice message behind it. It started off, I remember it going crazy, a bunch of celebrities doing it. Ultimately, it all felt very corporate to me. I don't know why. I remember just seeing Ellen DeGeneres do it, and it was right at the point where Ellen DeGeneres was starting to fall out of favor with a lot of people. I think maybe she ruined it for me. I remember also seeing LeBron James do it and a bunch of other people, so it had its time in the light. I don't think I ever was challenged to it because I'm a loser, because I don't have friends. This is gonna go at C. Again, just because of the corporate element. Nah, let's put it up at B because it had a positive message and it generated awareness for ALS. Realistically, it's one of the few reasons why I know about ALS and what it is. Yeah, let's put it at B. I feel confident it's at B. And then we have the Harlem Shake. So again, this is another early 2010s or mid 2010s challenge. It was basically, again, another of these dance challenges that today are very common due to TikTok and other social media and reels. But this came about in a time where it wasn't as popular. The Harlem Shake would pop up in like World Star Hip Hop every now and then, which is a website that I'm sure a lot of us remember for the good and the bad reasons. But yeah, the Harlem Shake was funny. It was good. It was kind of in the same tune as the Mannequin Challenge. It was just fun to do. I remember watching it. I did a version of it with my friends. I think I was still in high school too, so I don't know where that video is. Definitely butchered it, or we did it a little too hard, if that makes sense. We were trying a little too hard. I think this is Facebook days. I don't think even Instagram was as popping as it is today, so you more realistically share it to your Facebook account. A relic. I'm aging myself, giving my age away. This one I'll put up in A. I like it. I like it up in A. It's good. It was fun. It was all good fun. There were some great videos that came out of it. Then last but not least, my personal favorite, planking. So this is early 2010s. One of the first things that people were doing. I think it became popular. I don't even know where it came from or what popularized it. I'm sure it was maybe Reddit. Not super sure. All it was is you would lay down, face down on objects around the world. So maybe on a light post or on someone's couch. That would have been a boring one. Or on someone's table, on your desk at work, in the middle of the road. It was really funny, and some people took it to really creative places. People were doing it on top of mountains, really let people's creativity shine, and that to me goes in S tier. We'll give that one an S tier. I did participate and I did do this. It was back in the Facebook days. I'm sure there's a video of me floating around there somewhere, planking, thinking I'm the funniest person in the world, when realistically, I was just another person participating in the global community that was the internet and is the internet. That's my definitive tier list for the internet challenges that I can remember for this video. I'm sure some of you are going to agree with me hard, while others of you will softly and politely disagree with my list, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if you do. Otherwise, let me know if you remember any of these challenges or if I forgot any. And yeah, let's build this internet museum of chaos together and try to get to the bottom of what deserves to be in it or not. Thanks again everyone here who's watching, and if you're new here, welcome. We're serving soup here every new video, as well as the opinions of an aging internet enjoyer. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good stuff, and catch you on the next one. Peace.